everyone, and welcome back to another Xenoblade Chronicles video. As you can already tell, this video is going to be a little bit different because we have face cam, and I'm going to be going through today all of the Xenoblade 3 rumours which are circulating at the moment, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on them. But before we get into that, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you that have been supporting me over these last few months, even longer than that, and just thank you for how amazingly the channel's grown over that amount of time. It's all thanks to you. You're all amazing. I'm also just going to mention, if I keep looking over in this direction, I'm not ignoring you. I've just got all of my points written down on my other monitor. So, like some other YouTubers, specifically K Jewelers, who's already announced it, I had a video in the works for you already. That video is now finished. However, due to me now working on this video instead, that video will come out some point after this one. Hopefully Saturday, but if not so, then it'll be out at some point soon. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's run straight through all of the points. So, of course, this is the rumour. The rumour initially started from the interview that Jenna Coleman had with Din's Meteorite YouTube channel. It was a small gaming channel with around 33 subs. He's had quite a few more since then. And this interview happened around 2 months ago. So it's an old interview. Now, I knew about this interview for a while. I've known about it for around a week. However, there is nothing significant of information-wise in this video, in this interview at all, about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The only thing that she mentions is that she thinks there's another game in development, and she's not sure if she's allowed to say that, which confirms nothing, because we've already known for ages that Xenoblade Chronicles 3, or the next Xenoblade game, is in the works. That was basically announced after the development of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We've known it for ages. Now, this is where this rumour has originated from and is expanding upon that point with Fanbyte. So, before I'll go through all the important bits for you, I just want to give you my initial thoughts, which is I'm very on the fence with this rumour. You need to take all rumours and all leaks and things like that with a grain of salt. This one is particularly... There's a few things that don't add up, is the best way that I can word it. But let's run through and just go through. So, it starts off, of course, with her doing the interview and mentioning, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. Yeah, I think they're going to do another one. Basically, how the interview all started. Coleman's quote has caused rumours to stir over the weekend. Yep, it's hit social media like a wildfire, and it's now everywhere, now that everybody's actually finally found it. And he's also confirming here that we can indeed confirm that to be the case. Moreover, the game is nearing its final stages of development. I've mentioned the same thing. There have been other leaks from other sources that have provided this same information. I made my own video on it. It will be down on the screen somewhere now, and you'll be able to click above my head or on my head to go straight to that video right now, which we've known for a while that it's more than likely coming very soon, or being announced very soon, and then going through the process. And then this is where the rumours sort of take a bit of a turn. The third Xenoblade Chronicles game in development at Monolith Soft is a sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, currently the best-selling game in the series. The ending of the trilogy takes place in the far-flung future with few returning characters who have long outlived their human counterparts from both Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is why Coleman, who plays Melia, would be aware of a third game, as her character is returning and she more than likely has recorded voice acting for it. Right then. Let's break down this paragraph piece by piece. To start off with, this game is a sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, that can make sense. The point of it being currently the best-selling game in the series is true. It's been out for a hell of a lot longer than DE, so potentially in the same amount of time, DE might have sold better than Xenoblade 2 has sold now. But we'll have to wait and see. We can't predict the future. As a sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, It's possible. I mean, Xenoblade 2 is technically a sequel to Definitive Edition in a very loose way, but yeah, potentially. The ending of the trilogy, this is a problem. The game's not necessarily a trilogy. Monolith Soft don't tend to do trilogies with Xenosaga and Xenogears. They're not trilogies, they're their own series of games that have multiple parts. So it's very doubtful, in my opinion and in others' opinions, that this is going to be a trilogy, which is the end of the Xenoblade series, especially with all the success that the series has got recently. It takes place in the far-flung future, fair enough, with a few returning characters. Now, I've wanted to see returning characters in this, and there are some sources that I can link below which confirm something similar, but not necessarily how they're bringing it up, and I'll come back to that in a moment, who have outlived their human counterparts, Homs, just saying, from both Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This means that both games are linked. Now, I've made this statement before on one of my previous older videos. Again, the thumbnail will be popping up on the screen right now. I've made this similar statement. People weren't particularly happy with this idea. I'm going to make another video, updated video soon, on what I want Xenoblade 3 to be like, so stay tuned for that, and I'll look more into this at that point. However, I see it happening, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody can see it happening, and if it's being a direct sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, then it's possible, but there's too little information. But it's far-flung future, so this is a long time in the future, with a few returning characters who have outlived their human counterparts. So Shulk, Rex, not necessarily Rex actually because of the Aegis, but Shulk, Rex, and we'll say Rex, Nia, Morag. All those characters should be deceased, and it'll just be the characters like Alvis and Melia who have much longer lifespans than everybody else. This is why Coleman, who plays Melia, would be aware of a third game, as her character is returning and she more than likely has recorded voice acting for it. There is no confirmation that Melia is returning. Nothing is mentioned at any point during that interview that she is working on the game. She just says that she's aware that another one is in development, which we've known about for a long time. As her character is returning, and she's more than likely has recorded voice acting for it. And this is where I'm on the fence about it. This is just the timing of this coming out just being conveniently, it's all too good to be true. It's conveniently right as the interview starting to get some motion behind it, that this massive rumour and leak just comes out just from their anonymous sources that just say, oh yeah, by the way, we've got this, that and the other. The reason I'm on the fence about it and haven't completely discounted it is the characters do line up. Melia would be one of the only characters to be returning for the next Xenoblade, and I can very much see a Xenoblade 3 with a new cast of characters where you eventually meet a much elderly Melia. Now, at the same time, as a character is returning, she is likely recorded voice acting for it. She's not necessarily the voice actor for Melia. If it's in the far-flung future, Melia can possibly be very elderly and have a completely different voice actor. So, it's just another reason to be skeptical about the entire rumour. And then according to our sources, they're anonymous sources, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was set to be revealed earlier this year. It may still be announced before the end of the calendar year, but has a difficult time with the pandemic. This makes sense with COVID and everything and how Japan's been affected by it. It's going to be something which is definitely... It seems realistic that this could be the sort of announcement time for it, that it's going to take a little while. This shouldn't come as a galloping shot, it doesn't. And then they just basically finish off, now it's not going to come here. No chance. If we get the game revealed and announced tomorrow, it's still not going to come out for that long. It's going to take too long for them to do the finishing touches and things like that. this rumour has got many holes, and I'd also like to mention that a lot of other credible leakers are discounting this rumour as false, or certain parts of this rumour as false, as there's lots of aspects which really don't add up, and even though there are connections and links, it's almost, like I said before, it's almost too good to be true that we could just conveniently, from these anonymous sources, just as this is going around, somebody asks, yeah, so what's happening with Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Oh, well, I'll tell you this much. We've got Melia coming back, and we've got returning characters. It's all set after Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as a sequel, and you're going to have some returning characters from both games. That just seems, because that's exactly how the conversation would have gone down. That seems way too good to be true. Too much to the point where it's very unlikely that this is going to be true. I mean, you can believe whatever you want. All I really want to say to you today is that you shouldn't get your hopes up for this rumour, as it's very possible that some of the information, A, in this video and A, in this article, is incorrect. Because I don't believe all of it. I can see the truth behind it. I can see how it would all work as being a game that's connecting the two Xenoblade worlds together. I doubt it'd be a trilogy, but it's the third game. You can chuck the word in there. They might use a different name if this was really true. Assuming it's true, they could then take the series through a different name, through a different story, and do all sorts of different stuff with it in the same universe almost. That could be their new IP. The returning characters have long outlived their human counterparts. It's very possible it'll be set in the future and you'll be able to re-interact with Melia. Alvis is also more than likely going to be there, as he's a character that we haven't had much to do with, especially in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Considering how sort of prevalent he is to the story, you don't actually interact with him all that much, and it'd definitely seem like that. And I mean, they went somewhere with someone saying about how it's a trilogy and how it can awfully be convenient. How you've got 3 party members, and you can have 3 party members in a party. It'll be the third game. You'll have this, that, and the other. I'm just giving you my thoughts. I don't think that this article is entirely true. There is probably hints of the truth in there somewhere. We're probably getting returning characters. That has been, through my sources, through other leakers, has been mentioned to me. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not saying anything I provide to you in this video is fact, but that's what I've heard. I've heard it was more supposed to be in the way that it was in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with Shulk, Fiora and Elma in like the World of Challenge, more as cameos. I haven't heard anything about it being a sequel to Xenoblade 2. It just seems too good to be true. As an actual article, it'd be amazing if this is the game and if this all turns out to be true. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to leave this video in terms of don't get your hopes up. Wait until the announcement. That's more than likely occurring in September. Check out the other videos that I have down below. I have some on Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Xenoblade X2 and future potential game titles. So check all of my videos down below. And if you've enjoyed this with me and the beautiful mug of a face that I have on myself, then consider hitting that big red fat subscription button down below. And I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully coming Saturday. Peace now, guys.